Hey guys, what's up? I'm gonna go ahead and actually add a webcam to this. Let's see. Drop that down. Alright, this is just gonna be a simple video. It might actually take a while though, so I am gonna be running through some missions and stuff just to be doing it while I'm doing this. I'm kinda just, I don't know, I feel like this is a little obligatory because I haven't been making a lot of videos and stuff. But I really do hope that you guys, at least as the title suggests, learn something about me. I have I want to say, I shit you not, 117 questions. I am going to try to go through these pretty quickly, but some of these are a little interesting, so I'm going to be actually kind of, going deeper into them. But hopefully this is no longer than 20 minutes, maybe 30, but we'll see. But yeah, guys, as always, welcome to another broadcast by usually Jason Manning, aka Seki Leader. And we're going to start with a actually interesting one because probably not a lot of you know this. My middle name is actually Daniel, after my grandpa Danny, or Daniel, everyone just calls him Danny. What was my favorite subject at school? Well, I can't really say it was technically a subject. I would say metals, which is actually a fabrication and welding class. And we learn a lot about industrial equipment, things like that. Just anything that really has to do with vehicle maintaining and fixing and, welding materials and metal stuff. Anything like that, really. Other than that, though, an actual academic subject, I would say probably English. I'm not necessarily a grammar Nazi, even though I fuck with people a lot about certain things. You're and your, shit like that, there. But I mean, you'll hear me stutter, stuff like that, fuck up my own English, because I speak more of a street term than an actual scholarly term. But my writing and my reading skills have been college level since 4th grade. So 3rd grade, my reading level hit about halfway through 4th grade. My reading level, on record, school record, hit college level. And then my writing level hit high school level in 2nd grade and college level at the beginning of 4th, when they actually assessed me at the very beginning of the year. So it was probably the end of 3rd grade. I just didn't get assessed. What is my favorite drink? Now, one thing, again, I didn't really mention in the last question. I don't always have a favorite. I'm one of those weird people that you're going to hate because I always think about things in, many different facets. There's always an upside and a downside to stuff. Sometimes there isn't. Sometimes stuff's just awesome. But, there's an upside and a downside. I'd say 3 of the drinks I really enjoy and I drink on the regular would be Mountain Dew, Sprite, and Monster. But I do drink Mountain Dew more than the others. I don't drink dark sodas, and even though, those types of drinks are still bad for you, dark sodas are a lot worse for your body, and specifically your teeth, and I like to take care of my teeth. What is my favorite food? Not going to go into it, but, yeah. Again, no favorites. This is going to be a difficult one, because these questions are pre-written, not really my choosing. I just, copy and pasted a shit ton of questions. Some of them might even, go back through, but I'll just quickly re-answer them again. And maybe if I remember something, if there's a question in there. Oh shit, contacting testing servers. Uh-oh. Yeah, favorite food. I actually don't eat a lot of traditional foods, but one of the things that my mom makes for me that is super awesome, and it's one of the only Irish dishes that we really eat, and I think it's more Scottish than Irish, is actually corned beef and cabbage. And it is one of the most amazing just meals ever. It is so delicious, and I could scarf that shit for days. I can eat it cold, I can eat it hot, I can eat it warm. I will just eat the fuck out of corned beef and cabbage, seriously. And that's another thing too when it comes to food. I usually don't have a preference between warm and cold or hot food. It's really insane with drinks and stuff. Back when I used to drink dark sodas though, like Coke and Dr. Pepper and Pepsi, I could not drink it if it was actually above room temperature, because it would be really it would mess up my mouth. It would prickle me, I guess is the best way to explain the feeling. Little pins and needles inside my mouth. What was the last thing I bought? Actually, I bought a game for my friend. And I think other than that, I mean, I just went and gotten some food. But I mean, that's not really a thing, that's food. What would it be? Let's see, something for myself that I just bought. Oh, my mouse for my computer I recently bought, and that is a Razer mouse, the MMO mouse with 12 buttons on the side, really useful. Favorite book of all time? Can't really say favorite book, but favorite book series is one by Tamara Pierce. She is actually a preteens writer, but I was reading her books during that age as well as younger, and continuing to read all of her series into, I think, about when I was 18 or 19, which was just a couple years ago. But her books are actually, all of her books take place in the same universe, and some of the characters are connected and stuff. And so if you go read any of her books, literally all of her books are just the best to me. But I really enjoy fantasy books and stuff like that. And I just love hers because no matter if you're reading about one protagonist or another, a lot of the stuff is connected. And there's little hints and stuff in there. And the reason I really like that is because I'm also a big Fable fan. And Fable has a lot of stuff that hints at prior eras in the game world because they also all share the same world, even though they're in different eras of time. Let's see, favorite color, don't necessarily have one, but I love shades of green and red, and for a while there I thought my favorite color was sage green, but I found out that a lot of different people and companies specifically think that sage is actually a different shade. Again, you know, not a favorite because, you know, I realize that there's upsides and downsides. My actually favorite shade of sage apparently is a more darker sage. So yeah, it's almost jade, but darker. Let's see, do I have any pets? Actually, I do not have any pets currently, but I've had a lot of pets throughout my life. Cats, dogs, gerbils, hamsters, specifically dwarf hamsters, which were super fun, except for the mom. We called her Mary because she would bite the fuck out of you if you even tried to get near her, so, you know, Bloody Mary. And she was a little savage, tiny little hamster. Currently no, though. No pets. Have you ever been out of the country? If so, how many times? I like to think that I've been out of the country many times, when in reality, I've never actually left California, and I've never left Central California. Well, no, that's not true. Okay, I've been, like, all around California, but I've never really lived anywhere else. But country-wise, I have a lot of friends who live a lot of different places, so I know a lot about a lot of different places. So, yeah. Let's see, do you speak any other languages fluently? No. Fluently, no, but like, I like to think that I can understand Japanese, and I actually took Spanish for 2 years, so I can actually hold a short conversation in Spanish and ask questions in Spanish and things like that. You know, if I ever get stuck in Mexico or Spain, I think I'll be fine. I can find an inn, or a phone, or the embassy, at least. If someone, like, kidnaps me, drops me off in Mexico. How many siblings do I have? Technically, it's possible that I have 4. But in reality, and perfectly well known, I have 2. And this is because I have a half-brother and half-sister. You guys may know my sister Destiny, because she's actually been on some of my videos before and other things. And my brother Vincent is the son of my dad and his previous wife. And he was really cool. I actually lived with my dad for a while, and Vincent. But other than that, there's like speculation in the family that my dad is actually the dad of these twins that are like cousins to me. And just weird stuff. Won't really go into that. What is your favorite shop? This is one where I can say I have a favorite. My favorite shop is actually a skate shop called White Sands. I used to go there in middle school before they closed about halfway through my high school time. And every day during lunch and at the end of classes, me and my friends would go to the mall, which is right across the street from our middle school. And we would actually everyone was like really good friends with the guy who ran it, and we would actually leave our backpacks behind the counter of White Sands, so we didn't have to carry them around the mall when we were hanging out, window shopping, things like that. And Greg, the guy who ran the place, the majority of the time was really, really, really cool. And sadly, White Sands closed. I guess they just didn't have enough business, like, which sucks. Like, and I know it's kind of weird too, because me and a lot of my friends, we purchased skateboards there and skateboard parts and things. Actually, 3 of my skateboards I purchased from there. My most expensive ever skateboard I purchased from there, which was a lot of really high-end parts. And I actually ordered parts from a catalog at White Sands, a really high-end skateboard. It was a creature board that was just magnificent. I really actually miss that board. Some asshole fucking stole it from me when I was in classes in high school. But yeah, no, other than that, I mean, White Sands, it's a skateboard place. I don't know if they have any other places besides what they had in Ventura. But yeah, that was favorite shop ever. Alright. Favorite restaurant. Don't necessarily have one, but one of my, like, most enjoyed places to just go and actually sit down to eat is a tie between Topper's Pizza in Ventura and Wayback Burger in Ventura, which is a really, really great burger place. And it just has this really awesome vibe to it. Even if, like, you're the only people in, it's just a really awesome place to just sit down and eat. Where it's located, it's got a lot of sun, and at night it's really bright if you're eating there too. It's really cool. The chairs all move. It's not really, you know, crammed for a big guy like me or anyone else. But yeah, it's a really awesome place. And Topper's Pizza is just a great family place to go. Even though it's more of the expensive side of pizza, it's also got amazing fucking pizza, which is really worth the money. Alright, let's see. Where are we? Ooh, shit. When was the last time you cried? Actually, technically, I teared up, and I would count it as a cry, about 2 nights ago. I finally was able to get back on Kiss Anime, but that wasn't why I cried. I watched 3 episodes of Days, the TV edition, which is a soccer anime, and there was just some really emotional shit going on in the show at the time, and it was pretty good, pretty good. This fucking dick bag. Get out of here. Okay, sorry. Favorite movie? Again, kind of tied there, and this is actually how it's been since I was a little kid. But some of the movies I've had the most fun watching is a tie between Terminator 2 and the original, like, I think it's like in the 90s or 80s, Mortal Kombat film. And that's because when I was real little, and me and my mom lived by ourselves in a trailer park, I had this little tiny stool that I used to wash dishes and wash my hands and stuff and brush my teeth, because I was really tiny when I was little. And when I would watch those movies, I'd pull that stool into the living room and I'd do flips off of it and jumping kicks and shit. It's really funny. And thinking back on it, like, as a kid, like, that was super cute. But, like, it was a really fun time. And I remember doing it, like, I'd watch both the movies, like, 3 times a day for a while, back when I didn't have a lot of friends and I was really into movies and TV shows and stuff. Shit, I think I have to equip the jelly horn. I must equip. Let's see. Favorite TV shows. Not a big person on TV. Like actual TV shows, but I mean, like, if we strictly have to speak about TV shows, I'll speak about that, then some anime and stuff like that. But I'd say TV shows would have to be like Bones, like all those types of like really interesting crime style shows. Fringe is a really good one. And surprisingly, if you guys have ever watched it, Angel, which is the guy, I forget the actor's name, but he's the one who plays Booth in Bones, the FBI agent. He is the actor who plays Angel, the main character in Angel. And that's like a really old show that me and my mom used to watch. Let's see. How tall am I? Okay, so I always say I'm 6'5". This is one that's really weird. but I'm technically like 6'4" and like 1.5 centimeters. It's a really exact height. But I'm not like purely 6'5" or over. I'm just close to it, so I, you know, round it out. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm 6'4". Nah, it just sounds better to say 6'5". As a can I cook? Actually, I love my own cooking, which is probably really prideful, but a lot of my friends have also in the past said that they love my cooking, and I'm a really experimental cooker too. Funny thing, one of my friends pretty recently, I think it was a couple of months ago, got me into Shokugeki no Soma, and I'm actually caught up on the whole thing now, and I watched the new season. And again, I don't really watch a lot of manga, if you guys know this about me. I'm a big anime person, but I don't know. And it's not like I don't love reading. I love reading, but I don't know. I feel like anime just speaks to me more because, you know, it's live action. So I prefer anime over manga. I've only ever really read like 2 different mangas. But yeah, I'm a pretty good cook in my own mind and in a couple of my friends' minds. You know, my experimental cooking is really interesting. And that's where I brought that up, is because Soma is actually a really experimental cook as well. I just fucking died. So, who is my hero? I'd have to say my mom, you know, just being generic, but my mom is like a super crazy strong person, and in reality, the only human in the world I'm truly afraid of is my mom. My mom is just a badass. But yeah, like my mom has to be my hero. Like, single mom for the longest time, and she's just cool. She's the coolest person that I know besides myself. If you could live anywhere, where would it be? Actually, I want to live on the Loch Ness. Truthfully, I mean, it's a little fantasy of mine. Don't think it's ever gonna happen. Don't think I'm ever gonna live in Ireland. But no, I want to live on the Loch. Just because it has such a great atmosphere from all the videos and things I've seen, and from some of my friends who have been there and family members. Just one of the most atmospheric places to be, just stand there. What is my biggest fear? I don't know. I think being buried alive. Like, but not like being buried alive with a whole bunch of people or with someone else, but just by myself. Because it seems more scary that way. Like, not necessarily like, oh, thank God someone else is gonna die with me, but like, when you're buried alive, like in some of those movies and TV shows and stories that you hear where someone's like in a coffin still alive, that's really terrifying, because you don't know if anyone can hear you. You don't know if anyone's trying to help you. You don't know if anyone knows if you're alive or dead. And that's just really scary. Just, like, technically being non-existent at that moment, but you are the only one who knows that you're there, that you're you. It's really scary. And I have a little bit of a claustrophobia thing, too, that I've had since a kid. What is your favorite family vacation? Oh my god. We went to this super fucking high, it was a 5-star hotel in Pismo, I think it was. And it was just one of the, I think it's called Seabreeze Hotels, and it was just the most amazing fucking week ever. We went for a whole week, like, I don't know, in middle school for me, or maybe it was elementary school, it was the greatest. What would you change about yourself if you could? My back. And all my injuries. I have a lot of really permanent injuries that just suck. And I'd change all those. I'd get rid of all of them. If I could just be a healthy person, I wouldn't even care. I'd get rid of my weight myself. Like, if I had to choose, like, injuries or weight or whatever, I would just get rid of the injuries, make myself completely structurally healthy, because I also have bone spurs and osteoarthritis. It's horrible. I would get rid of all that stuff, and I'd lose weight, man. I'd fucking do it. But right now, it's really difficult. I do lose weight constantly, but it's a difficult thing with all the pain. What really makes you angry? When people bring down gamers and the video game community and just video games in general, like, that really pisses me off. And a lot of people know that about me. When people say it's just a game, or when people say like, oh, gaming is a waste of your time, or gaming is going to corrupt you, or, you know, like, all these fucking shootings and shit are because of video game. I mean, shit, like, look, I'm already getting pissed. I just hate it. Like, don't diss fucking video games. Don't make video games your fucking scapegoat for shootings and shit. Come on. Stupid. So many more studies have proven that video games are helpful rather than fucking hindrance to society. Let's see. What motivates you to work hard? What motivates me to work hard? I think what motivates me to work hard is recognition, I guess. And I mean, that sounds weird, but it's like when someone, you know, gives me a thumbs up or something, and they're like, dude, that was really cool. I really enjoyed that video, or I really liked this stream, or I really liked that conversation, like, or I really liked your paper, or I really liked your acting, like, that, it makes me happy. Because it just shows me that, you know, what I did work at was appreciated, and it was good. And so I'll work towards doing something like that again, but better, to get the appreciation again. And I've done that many times throughout my gaming career and YouTube career and Twitch career and stuff like that. Well, streaming career, because it's not always been Twitch. There's also been Ustream and Justin.tv. But yeah, like, recognition and just the fact that, you know, I make people happy, or like someone understands what I'm saying, or maybe changing someone's view on something. Just knowing that I'm making, you know, a better entertainment, really. What is my favorite thing about my career? Right now, I'm not necessarily in a career, but I like to say that my gaming, you know, I make people happy again. You know, I make entertainment for people. My college, though, is mainly learning. I'm a big person on... I like to think that I'm a polymath. I really love learning, and I'm taking a lot of courses that are obviously based around my majors, but I'm also taking other courses here and there that are just fun, and things that, you know, are just out of my comfort zone, things I don't really know. Like, I took an acting class, which, you know, I'm really into drama and stuff like that, like I was back in high school and things, but it really actually doing an acting class and learning about the whole subject and how acting works and actors and stuff like that and the equipment, it was really interesting. It was outside of my comfort zone. It's not something I truthfully know about, even though I use a lot of that equipment, those programs and things, Camtasia and Adobe Studios and stuff. Like, it was something that I actually learned from, and I just love learning. What is my biggest complaint about my job? Probably that I'm not as big as I thought I would be. You know, I didn't expect to be, you know, like 1 million subscribers in the years that I've been. And obviously, you know, I've been sick and stuff like that. But I think it's like that I lose people too fast. A lot of people don't really have patience. And I totally get that. I understand. But like, nobody really has patience for me. The fact that, you know, I'm just an injured dude, and I get injured a lot more, and I'm not healthy structurally. Like, when it comes to habits and stuff like that, not necessarily healthy, but, you know, I'm not a fat ass. I don't just eat up to my fucking heart's content. I'm not lazy. That's not why, you know, sometimes I don't get videos out and stuff like that. And that's why I really wanted to make this video. Like, some really crazy family shit I just found out about tonight, and I wanted to make this video just because I wanted to prove that, you know, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm still trying. But that's, you know, one thing. A lot of people just don't have patience. What is my proudest accomplishment? Let's see. Overall accomplishment. I think, actually, even though I was really shy and the whole thing, it was really awkward, is my current introduction to my channel. It really made me happy because I really put that together with what I had at the time really well, and I'm really happy with that. And then probably also tied with hitting 1,000 followers on Twitch on my new account, because this is hopefully going to be my permanent Twitch account, and that's Seki Leader V2. But yeah, like, I hit 1,000. I'm really happy with that. Proudest child accomplishment. Actually, I have a picture on Facebook. Graduating from kindergarten. I had a lot of troubles when I was younger with my bipolar disorder. A lot of people thought that it was ADHD, other people thought it was schizophrenia, and things like that. And so it was really difficult with all the medicines and stuff, but actually graduating from preschool and kindergarten, which were 2 parts of the same schooling, I came out on top. I had a great reading level, great writing level. I was above all my classmates and stuff, and I got honors, and my teachers were really proud because they were actually petitioning the elementary school I was going to actually skip me to 3rd grade right away after kindergarten. What is my favorite book to read? Okay, now this one I actually have. This is actually a favorite I do have, and that is actually the book that came with Fable 3's Limited Collector's Edition, and that is The Balverine Order. I've read that book about 30 times all the way through, and I'm actually about 80% of the way through on it right now, but I haven't read a word in a couple months. But yeah, like, I'm about to be somewhere around 30 to 35 times through that book. What makes me laugh the most? Let's see. I mean, okay, funnily, like, when I do something funny and I make other people laugh, it really makes me happy to the point where I laugh. And sometimes people see that as just loving myself and just super prideful, but it just makes me happy when someone else is happy because of something I did. Like, and so that makes me laugh a lot. But probably when my friends make really stupid or like really good jokes, it makes me laugh because I really just love my friends and stuff. So I think it comes better from someone I know, a joke. Even if it's a bad joke, it makes me laugh more because they're trying and then they failed. And it's not because they failed. It's like, come on, man, that was a pretty bad joke. But yeah, like that makes me laugh the most. What was the last movie I went to and what did I think? Actually, the last movie I went to was the fucking Doctor Strange movie, and it was fucking sick. It was awesome, and a cool thing is film theorists actually did, MatPat did a thing on it about how the magic was actually purely scientific, and it was pretty true. It was really scientific, and there was a lot of stuff on that, and that was like a new take on the Doctor Strange franchise, so it was really cool. Let's see, what did you want to be when you were small? You know, I actually want to be a police officer because my mom was a police officer. She was actually the first woman police officer in Visalia, California. You can look that up. There was a news article about it. What is your... Oh, what the fuck? Let's see. Can't answer that one. I just noticed. Yeah, it says something about my child. I do not have a kid. If you could choose to do anything for a day, what would it be? I'd hang out with some bigger streamers and some bigger YouTubers, you know, without them. There's some streamers I know that, truthfully, in person, I've actually met, and they're kind of good friends of mine. There's some really big streamers that I used to know, and they're really good friends, and they've just gotten to be such assholes. And, you know, I want to be able to talk to YouTubers and streamers who are actually encouraging the little guy to go forward. People like Markiplier and Dahi Denogla and Taupe Rec. I would love to talk with him for a day. Just hang out with them, see what they're doing, how they set up, like what their pregame is, like how they do everything, like what are they practicing when they start playing, like how do they warm up, things like that, you know, and some of the MLG players and stuff too, because that would be really interesting to just kind of see what they're doing with their setups and stuff. What is my favorite game or sport to watch and play? Surprisingly, because not a lot of others, World of Warcraft. I've watched a lot of people play WoW, competitively, non-competitively, and I really love watching tutorials and things like that about that stuff, and I personally also really enjoy playing WoW, and I played it for a long time. But yeah, World of Warcraft. Would you rather ride a bike, ride a horse, or drive a car? If I knew how to ride a horse, and it was a good horse, and I had the requirements without hindering any of my other survivability, to have the money to pay for the horse and take care of it properly, I'd ride a horse, dude. Horses are cool, and it's kind of like a good friend. What would you sing at karaoke night? Oh, shit. Hollywood Undead. I love Hollywood Undead, and I feel like I have some of those songs on key. Some of the really more sad and deep songs. Stuff. High school. No. What two radio stations do you listen to in the car most? My phone. I actually have an FM transmitter that plugs up to my phone, and I listen to my phone. I never listen to the radio. Which would you rather do? Wash dishes, mow the lawn, clean the bathroom, or vacuum the house? Clean the bathroom, because I actually used to be forced to do that when I lived with my stepmom, and she was an evil bitch, and I know how to do it really well. If you could hire someone to help you, would it be the cleaning, cooking, or yard work? Cleaning. If someone could keep my room clean and the rest of my house, and I didn't have to, I'd have a much more enjoyable life. If you could only eat one meal for the rest of your life, what would it be? Corned beef and cabbage. Okay. Who's your favorite author? Tamar Pierce. That's one I can answer. Have you ever had a nickname? What is it? Actually, I've had two. Whoa, wait. Actually, funny one. I've had four. 3 in high school, and 1 in middle school that I actually was really proud of for a while because I was really naive. In middle school, a lot of the older kids would call me Mr. Squishies. There's a reason for that. I loved giving people hugs, and I was a squishy person back then. I was 400 and something pounds in middle school. And then in high school, Shrek, when I had my hair cut because I looked like a fucking ogre. Mountain Man when my hair was long and my beard was long. My beard used to be a lot longer because I didn't cut it for about 6 years. I actually recently cut this about a year and a half ago. Oh, and then, yeah, I was called Big Daddy. And Big Daddy was actually what I got called to the stage for my graduation in high school. Do you like or dislike surprises? Why or why not? I'd say I dislike them more than like them, but I don't mind them, and that's because surprises, it really get me, like jump scares. But I mean, you know, surprise birthday party, meh. Sometimes it just gets in the way of things. You know, I'm totally appreciative and everything, but I'd rather know when I'm gonna have to leave my video games or my friends. Like if someone comes into my room on my birthday when I'm playing video games or in the middle of a stream and they start singing happy birthday, I'm just gonna be more annoyed than happy. But I'll still be happy and be appreciative of the sign, you know. In the evening, would you rather play a game, visit a relative, watch you play a game? Obviously, that's what I'm doing right now, although it's morning now. Would you rather vacation in Hawaii or Alaska? Alaska, although I'd love to visit Hawaii because one of my longest girlfriends ever that I had, second longest, was from Kauai, and her whole family was there, and every summer and stuff, and every holiday she'd visit Kauai, and I grew to know a lot about the culture and stuff there because of her, and I really wanted to get to know her more, and so I learned a lot. But yeah, I'd love to visit the islands and stuff, but I'd rather vacation in the cold because I prefer cold over hot. Would you rather win the lottery or work at the perfect job? Perfect job because I don't want to just start being super lazy. And, you know, my perfect job is playing video games anyways, and I'd love to be able to just entertain people, and that's, to me, what the perfect job is. If I'm making money doing what I love, which is making videos and playing video games, and entertaining people. Would you want to be stranded with... What? Stranded with on a desert island. A deserted island. What the... This... Dude. The English is so bad right now. Oh, I didn't scroll over. Who would you want to be stranded with on a desert island? I thought the English was super bad. Ben Kingsley. One of the coolest fucking dudes in the world, and I would totally love to be desert on an island with him. Because we'd have so much to talk about, and I think we would entertain each other. Because he could be a joking person as well as a really serious person, as the same as me, and we'd have a lot of interesting conversations and tell jokes and stuff. If money was no object, what would you do all day? Play video games and stream. Even if no one was watching, I'd still stream in the hope that somebody would see it and be entertained. If you go back in time, what year would you travel to? I would travel to like, I don't know, a year that I could win the lottery and just have that money, and then I'd invest in something. So probably like the early 80s, and I'd invest in Microsoft. Probably. I don't know. Let's see. How would your friends describe you? Probably some of my friends as a complete asshole at times, but really good at video games and really smart. And so my other friends would describe me as a fucking asshole, but like a really nice person at heart. Because I could be really serious sometimes, and because I get so fucking serious about stuff, I'm a complete dick, and that's one of my major problems. And a lot of my really good friends understand that about me, and they protect me when people start, you know, calling me out and stuff. And they'll really just be good friends about it, and be really, you know, like upbeat about it rather than uptight. And that's why I love my friend Jacob, and he's more like a brother to me than a friend. Let's see. What are my hobbies? Video games, creative writing, and video making, as well as anonymous blog posting for anime. What is the best gift you have been given? The ability to tie my shoes in a way that nobody else does. I shit you not. My grandpa taught me how to tie my shoes when I just couldn't figure it out. So many people were trying to teach me and I just could not do it. And my grandpa taught me how to tie my shoes in a really simple and convenient way that I still tie my shoes today. And that's how I'm going to teach my kids to do it, because it's so goddamn easy. What is the worst gift you've received? I received a broken watch that cost like $90. And this was because the fucking people who made it broke it before they sent it, and we actually got a letter like half a year later refunding us the purchase. It was so stupid, because they knew it had happened, but it took them forever to figure out what to do about it. Aside from necessities, what one thing could you not go a day without? I mean, well, on a technicality, dew. I love dew, and I mean, I've gone many days without dew, but it's like one thing that, like, you know, I'll drink like a couple cups of dew a day. That's just a thing with me. But I mean, I could go without it. Probably the same idea, video games and anime. I had to go without anime for 3 weeks because Kiss Anime was down, and it was really depressing. There was a lot of shows that I wanted to catch up on, a lot of stories and characters that I was really connected with that I just could not continue to be connected with because I couldn't. It just couldn't. There was no way for me to. And Kiss Anime, I didn't remember the majority of the shows. I kept up with like Naruto and One Piece because every fucking anime site has those. But like for those 3 weeks, I couldn't keep up with Days, and I couldn't keep up with Trickster and stuff like that. And those were just really amazing stories that I really wanted to keep up with. List 2 pet peeves. People saying it's just a game, calm down. And people touching my shit without asking. Let's see. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? I see myself almost done with college and hopefully really happy with the community that I've developed through streaming and video making. How many pairs of shoes do you own? About 6, not including my 2 pairs of cleats from, one pair of cleats and my pair of basketball shoes. But a pair of cleats that I used that actually had interchangeable spikes for football and baseball. If you were a superhero, what power would you have? The ability of flight at super speeds, but controllable speeds. What would you do if you won the lottery? Video games all day, donate the majority of it that I didn't need for proper survival to many different associations to help charities and stuff like that. What form of public transportation do you prefer? Actually, I mean, it says like airplane, boat, and stuff like that. Like, I'd love to be on a cruise, but, you know, just actually transporting. I've actually used the bus a lot in my life, and I really enjoy the bus. But I also do love driving. Gives car as an example. And I've also, like, loved riding skateboards and stuff, and that's, you know, it says etc. So any type of transportation, I guess, would be between those 3. Bus, cruise liner, car, well, 4, and then skateboard, like a good skateboard, a big deck. I have to ride a fucking 8.8. What's your favorite zoo animal? I don't really have one, but I'd have to say, you know, like the king of the jungle, all types of cats, I guess, really. I love just how amazing their world is, like they're in how they work. And then I say a really interesting one a lot of people agree with is hyenas. Hyenas are really interesting animals if you really study them. If you go back in time and change one thing, what would it be? Nothing. The world is the way it is today because of our past. If you could share a meal with any 4 individuals, living or dead, who would they be? Ben Kingsley, Peter Stormare, Johnny Depp, and Oprah. And I would just love to see all the conversation that goes on. It would be a really interesting meal. But Oprah at like her finest, not like at her like super fucking complicit like she is now and has been for a couple of years. How many pillows do you sleep with? Technically 4, but I only really use 1. Like for my head. What's the longest you've gone without sleep and why? truthfully, like a couple days. And I mean, there was, you know, like I knocked the fuck out and then someone woke me up in the middle of school. But in high school, late high school, not early high school, there was just this point in which a couple games had come out and I was really fucking into them. And I didn't technically sleep for longer than 30 minutes for about 7 days. Like, I'd knock out in class and then get woken up by someone, and that was it. And it was never for longer than 30 minutes. Probably never longer than 20 minutes. None of these work. I gotta go to orbit. Let's see. What's the tallest building you've been to the top in? Oh, shit. I don't know if there's a name of it, but about 20-something stories, and it was really scary, because at the time I was really afraid of heights. Would you rather trade intelligence for looks or looks for intelligence? That depends on if I'd become completely fucking dumb, or if I'd become completely fucking hideous, like a blob of no bones, like that Family Guy story. But I'd choose intelligence over looks as long as I wasn't like just gelatinous blob. How often do you buy clothes? Not very often. I haven't changed sizes. I've actually been losing weight, so a lot of my older clothes I still have, I can fit into now. Have you ever had a secret admirer? Actually, yeah, a couple. And it was really creepy once I found out what some of them did. What's your favorite holiday? I don't really have one, but I really enjoy the Christian holidays just because it brings a lot of people together. And feels like more love than anything else, except Christmas, because Christmas gets fucking crazy towards Black Friday. Oh god. Humanity, why? What's the most daring thing you've ever done? I had sex with someone in public. And it was a three-way. Don't think my mom knows about that one yet, so, yeah. What was the last thing you recorded on TV? Fuck! Dude, that's gotta be like forever ago. The Flash, actually. It was like the end of season 1, The Flash. Somewhere around there. What was the last book you read? Textbook. Child development book. For infants and toddlers. First 5 years. Actually, there's like 3 chapters we didn't do, and I just read them just to see what the information was about. Let's see. Kind of like losing my place. What's your favorite type of foreign food? Any type of Asian food. I love all types of Asian food, even the really weird stuff. It's just interesting to try it because I think there's more variety in all of the Asian foods than there are in American and European food put together. There's just so much different things. It's really awesome, like all the different things that there are. Because of different things like the Chinese and Mongolian empires, you know, spreading just a little bit, they ended up adapting a lot of cultural like values and stuff from other cultures, and then you had like all these foods being imported constantly and stuff even after territory was taken back and stuff like that. So it was really interesting to kind of like learn too about food, because I've always been a big food person, how a lot of food has adapted and changed, and you have foods that nobody really eats anymore that like have, you know, guts, I guess is the best way to say it, in like current Asian foods. It's really interesting. Let's see. Am I a clean or messy person? I like to think I'm a chaotic person. There's a difference between messy and chaotic. I'm not dirty, but I am messy. Yeah, but I'm more chaotic than anything. But I find order in chaos. A lot of things that people see in my room as being chaotic, I know where everything is. I just don't move things. And I remember where I left things, and I remember which things I have moved to get other things. So yeah, like a lot of my clothes and stuff are just laying around, but they're still like folded in piles. And I know what's in those piles of clothes. I know exactly which printed t-shirts and boxers and you know, vests and things I have in piles of clothes. I know exactly where all my stuff is. So I'm pretty much a messy person, but more chaotic than messy. Who would you want to play you in a movie of your life? This question, I knew I was not going to be able to answer this because I don't know. I don't know anyone that could play me. It's so weird. I'd have to say, like, if we left out my weight and everything to being just a mental thing, then I'd have to say I'd want Johnny Depp to play me in my high school years, just because I feel like he'd play my personality a lot better, as being more angry and just depressed throughout all high school, and then slowly getting a little bit happier when I was a little bit more enlightened to the world and stuff like that. And then in middle school, I just don't know. I mean, I don't know any child actors right now. And in my current life, I don't know anyone that can play me. I'm a pretty unique person to myself. I don't know anyone that's like me. Somebody could answer that one. That would be awesome, though. I'd really like to look into it. How long does it take me to get ready in the morning? I don't get ready. I just put shit on and walk out the door. But I'd say it takes me less than a minute, because I take showers at night and I brush my teeth before I go to bed, not when I wake up. Usually just like a mint and something to just, I just rinse my mouth. I don't brush my teeth in the morning. Which kitchen appliances do you use every day? The fridge and the sink and the lights. I wouldn't say I microwave or cook something every day, so sometimes I just eat cold food or like stuff straight out of a can. But I mean, on a regular basis, everything, even the blender. Let's see, what's your favorite fast food chain? Don't really have one. Answered this already, kinda. Favorite family recipe? Answered that already too. The corned beef and cabbage. Do you love or hate roller coasters? I love them. All types of roller coasters and rides. What's your favorite family tradition? Opening one present on Christmas Eve. I know a lot of families do that. Some families open like, the smallest present or the biggest present. Like, for us, it's something my mom started a long time ago when I was really impatient as a kid, and she's like, alright, you can open one present, and it kind of carried over to my sister when she grew up and stuff. Favorite childhood memory? Actually, my favorite childhood memory is one that is actually from when I was 2. And it's a very rare thing for someone to remember stuff from their infancy, but I actually do remember one single moment. Well, not like a moment in my childhood, but when I was 2, my dad, when I lived with him for a while, he actually had gotten me one of those like Jeeps that you ride around the backyard, and I couldn't drive it myself because I was too young, and he was a really, really small dude. And he actually drove it while I sat in the passenger seat. And I remember, I want to say it was about 5 minutes of that. Just us laughing and him smiling, and the grass and the trees and the fence and the color of the Jeep, which was like a bright blue with like some purple lining. And I think it had flames by the tires. Like, that's my earliest memory and my favorite. And in psychology, it's a big thing when my teachers learn that about me, that I have a memory from when I was 2. I was about like 2.5. It wasn't like I was near 3. It was like early 2. Favorite movie? Already answered that. It's Mortal Kombat and Terminator 2. How old were you when you learned Santa wasn't real? How did you find out? I don't think I actually ever learned it. It was always just implied that I would figure it out. And I kind of always knew that Santa wasn't real. I did actually learn that Santa was real, and that was about when I was 12. I learned about St. Nicholas. So, yeah, like the real St. Nicholas. And the tradition, the pagan tradition, how Christmas came along and stuff like that. Again, I've always been a polymath ever since I was little. Always learning as much as I could. If I ever had an idea about something and I didn't know about something, I would go and learn about it. Is your glass half full or half empty? I don't know. I feel like someone shattered my glass. And I can't tell because they cut the top and the bottom. I don't know which side is the top and which one's the bottom, but there's water in it. And it's sideways. What's the craziest thing you've done in the name of love? What I said before. Because it wasn't my request. What 3 items would you take with you on a deserted island? I would take a generator that runs off of solar energy, a large survival knife, and a flint and steel. What was your favorite subject in school? Metals. What's the most unusual thing you've ever eaten? Crocodile. Not alligator. Crocodile. Do you collect anything? Swords and video game memorabilia? Is there anything you wish would come back into fashion? Fanny packs. I want to see someone try to bring back fanny packs just so that I can be like, you know what? I'm not even going to laugh at this. Go for it. They have a use. Wouldn't fucking wear it, but I wouldn't make fun of anyone, and I would proudly walk with someone who was actually wearing a fucking fanny pack who was like my age. Just to just be happy about it. Let's see. Are you an introvert or an extrovert? I'm a little bit of both. I'm a really happy person when you get to know me, but mainly, and I'm really outspoken, even on video games and during streams and videos, but when it comes to super public, I don't try to make a scene unless I'm with a lot of friends, because then I feel like it's less embarrassing. Like, I've played the penis game in the middle of the fucking road at like 5 at night with like 7 friends. And if you guys don't know what the penis game is, it's where someone initiates it by whispering into someone's ear, penis. And then everyone in the group has to do it. And then the first person to do it, once they get whispered back at penis, then they have to say penis or penis, like softly but said. And then it gets louder and louder and louder and louder. And once someone loses their voice, that's the person who wins the penis game. And that's actually me and my friend's version of the penis game. There's a couple of different ways to initiate and stuff like that. Which of the 5 senses would you say is your strongest? My smell. Have you ever had a surprise party? That was an actual surprise. Yes, actually. It was like a surprise party inside of a surprise party. And it ended up having a very interesting surprise. I think it was my 5th or 6th birthday party. A lot of my family members showed up at a Chuck E. Cheese. And one of my uncles who went to a war, he had a box that I really loved, and he actually kept live grenades in it. He took the live grenades out, put them in a different box, and handed me the box, and I thought he was giving me the grenades. I opened it, and there was a fucking pile of fart bombs. The plastic ones. And I accidentally set one off and closed the lid thinking that nothing would happen. But because of the pressure, it set more off, and then those set some off, and then those set some off, and then those set some off. And they had to evacuate the Chuck E. Cheese because they didn't know where the pungent smell was coming from, and the police were called. And that was technically my fault, but everyone blamed my uncle. Oh my god. Holy shit. But yeah, no, like, we were going there, I thought it was just me and my mom and my grandma going there for my birthday, but then, like, there was a huge group of people, like 50 people there. It was all my family members, cousins, aunts, uncles, stuff like that. Fallen artillery inbound, what? Was that here? Whatever. Are you related or distantly related to anyone famous? Some generals and stuff. I don't know all the names. I'd have to ask my aunt. She's the family genealogist. But yeah, we are related to quite a few people that are in history books and shit. Because we're the North family, which is actually one of the original Irish families. Technically, we're royalty. Some of our fully blooded family members are in one of the top 100 lists of succession to the English throne. Let's see, what do you do to keep fit? Nothing. I have an amazing metabolism. The only reason I'm big is, a lot of people would know because I've explained it a few times before, is because of medicine that I was required to take as a child, and it had 2 really bad effects. Increased appetite, thoroughly increased appetite, and also lowering of my metabolism, so I gained weight rapidly. I gained almost 300 pounds in about a year. when I was 13. But I mean, I do a little bit of exercise, mainly cardio, you know, push-ups and sit-ups and squats and stuff. I just do that stuff to keep my muscles good. I walk as much as I can. I still park handicap because of my back, but I try to park as far from my class as I can when I park in the handicap zone. Let's see, does your family have a motto, spoken or unspoken? Love thy neighbor. That's one thing. We always try to be nice to our neighbors. We always try to help them out. And the same goes for family and stuff like that. So just love thy neighbor has got to be me and my mom's motto, and it's kind of adapted to my sister and my stepdad and my grandma and my grandpa. May he rest in peace. But yeah. If you were the ruler of your own country, what would be the first law you would introduce? This is going to sound super fucked up, but the lowering of any naturally thought punishment to people who've committed any type of crime, including rape, molestation, and murder, because I feel like in a world that needs compassion, we are just way too fucking hard on people for doing shit, especially the mentally ill and the people who are the way they are because of how others have treated them. And I feel like someone who's murdered someone shouldn't be trapped in a fucking cell their whole life. They should have the option of going for the period that they're going to go, being a portion of the sentence, depending upon a huge mathematical equation I've actually done in my head many times before throughout my life. And in my Ethics of Living and Dying class, I did a report on it for my teacher. It wasn't even like graded or anything. It was just a conversation that we had, and I had to explain it to him on paper because it would take me forever to get the thoughts out. But yeah, like just lowering how people feel about criminals and criminal activity and stuff like that. And I think my second law, even though it's not required for this question, would be the legalization of all types of drugs, be them hallucinogenic or whatever you say. I just feel like drugs all have their uses, and nobody should be demonized for using drugs. But people who need the help because of addiction should get the help. And that's one thing a lot of countries are actually doing recently. Instead of putting people away, they're given the option of going to rehab, and their families are the ones who are demonizing them and stuff like that. Who is your favorite teacher in school and why? Mr. Bassett. Mr. Royce Bassett, the most badass dude ever, and it's because he really taught me what life was, and he really put me on the right path in life, and he just taught me to be a spiritual person, not a religious person. If you've never taken a spirituality class, you don't know the difference between spirituality and religion. And happiness is spirituality. And he taught me spirituality, truthfully. And I feel like I owe him a lot because of those teachings. And he's like a dad to me. So, yeah. Mr. Bassett, the most badass dude ever. Let's see. What 3 things do you think of the most each day? Video games. Strategies in video games and videos. How to make videos. And what are like the best videos I can make? What's the content I can make? Is there something original I can do? Is there something I could do better than someone that I've seen? Like if I see someone, I used to do this with Destiny, with ghost videos and things like that. I'd see people make videos and I'd be like, that's not the right way to do this. That's not how you explain it. That doesn't help people who don't understand better than other people. Like, and so I always felt like, you know, just doing something better than someone and just helping make information more readily available to the more average person. Let's see. If you had a warning label, what would yours say? Treat with caution. What song would you say best sums you up? Paradise Lost by Hollywood Undead. What celebrity would you like to meet at Starbucks for a cup of coffee? Ben Kingsley, as I've said multiple times in this questioning. Who was your first crush? Oh, fucking, oh god, what was her name? Started with an M. Oh, Jesus. I actually ended up going out with her for a couple months in elementary school. She was my first girlfriend and my first crush. I can't remember her name, though. For fuck's sake. I'm not good with names. What's the most interesting thing you can see out of your office or kitchen window? Out of my kitchen window? I don't have one, but from the kitchen you can look out the sliding glass door and the clouds in the sky. It's really clear in the sky, even at night, from my kitchen. On a scale of 1 to 10, how funny would you say you are? I'd say I'm like a 6. I'm above average when I try. And probably like an 8 when I don't try. Like, sometimes I get some good ones in there. What do you see yourself in 10 years? Oh, fuck. So this one's like 10 years. If my community hasn't blown up to the hopes that I have, helping little kids in foster care. Because that's what I'm going for. And at school, helping kids just find their way. What was my first job? Technically, soup kitchen. Truthfully, with a paycheck, that would be a security guard for a really fucking high-end resort. So, yeah. I was really happy about that. Got paid a lot in high school. If you could join any past or current music group, which would you want to join? Fuck, I wouldn't be able to, but I would want to join Hollywood Undead when they still had Deuce. How many languages do you speak? Okay, so this one I kind of already answered. Technically, I can hold a conversation in 3, but I only fluently speak English. I can kind of speak Japanese. I can kind of speak Spanish. I can hold a conversation in Spanish. I can find things in Spanish. I can get help in Spanish. But yeah, I only fluently speak English, even though that doesn't really sound apparent sometimes with my stuttering. What's your favorite family holiday tradition? This was already answered. Opening one present before Christmas on Christmas Eve. Who's the most intelligent person you know? Personally, me. I'm guessing that's personally, because it says I know, not know of. Me. Like, truthfully, me. Which is really sad. If you had to describe yourself as an animal, which one would it be? I'd say I was a koala. Or maybe not a koala, maybe like a wombat or something, like a bear-esque animal that's really fluffy. Yeah. What is one thing you will never do again? Sex in public. Who knows you the best? Jacob. Or my mom. My fucking homie Jacob. He knows me the best. He knows who I really am, how I really think, the things I've really done, what things I over-exaggerate. Like, he knows my tells and shit. Because I'm a big storyteller. Like, I'll tell a lot of stories. Although, I'll say this right now, everything here, 100% true. Everything I've been talking about is truly how I feel. No exaggerations. I tried to keep this super real, because this is a get to know me. But yeah, guys, that was the last one. I'd say my homie Jacob is my brother. He's my fucking bro. I like to think of him more as an equal, but he is younger than me, so sometimes he's my younger brother. And he's sometimes more mature than my ass. But... oh. That was an hour long. Thanks for watching, guys. This has been a second broadcast. Usually Jason Manning, aka Sega Leader. Have a great rest of your fucking day, night, morning, whatever time it is. Have a great rest of it. All I want is happiness in the world. I'll see you guys in the next one. Fucking an hour.